You may have never heard of this car before, but you're about to hear an awful lot about it because this is a Toyota Highlander. And even though I thought it actually has nothing to do with the film from the mid-80s, which Queen had the theme tunes to, and Sean Connery was in.
Good. That is a perfect way to start.
Forget about that for a minute. This is 4.8 meters of pure Americana. Real American stuff this is. Real, you Americans, you've been sending over your cars. The reason this is even here is because big diesel engine cars like this that are 7 seats, well, they have to electrify or be gone. And that's pretty much the two options they've got right now. And it's really expensive to put an electric engine in with a diesel engine, so diesel hybrids are really expensive. This is a petrol hybrid running on a 2.5 litre petrol engine that Toyota put out into their Camry range. They've hybridized it and stuck it into this car here. So we've managed to get a 7-seat Highlander. But will there be only one? I always wanted to make a Highlander reference in my videos, but this, as I said, is 4.85 meters long. So it's a big car, big 7 seats, but that's what you all want. You want SUVs, right? And I know you're all thinking about, well, you're all thinking about small SUVs, right? Well, this is the opposite of small, but that's okay because that 4.85 meters means that this big chunk of it right here is over 600 litres in 5-seat mode, but has the boot capacity of a Toyota Yaris in 7-seat mode, so over 200 litres. It's a nice big boot. Plus, back door opens nice and wide, so you can get the family into the back of the car, and when you want to, you can just flip the seats, slide it forward, and get access to the back. It's actually built for Americans, so I have no problem getting in. Look at... What can I say? I'm in the back, and I actually fit back here as well, by the way. It's really pleasant back here. Okay, so there's some cool little features on the back. There's actually 2 cameras back here, one to point back and one to point down. It's actually got a 360 camera thing that I'll show you on the inside when we get there. Electric tailgate, a little bit slow, I'd say. Look, not exactly going to win too many races, but in this 7-seat form, with all 7 seats in place, I got about 200 and something litres here. So it's as much as a small 5-door hatchback. You will get a week's worth of shopping in here. You'll even get a couple of suitcases in here if you try hard enough. There is shopping bag hooks. And if I want to drop into 5-seat mode, just do that. That's it. Look. That's it. Done. I'm finished. I'm in 5-seat mode now. Now I have over 600 litres of space. So it's as big as an estate car. Tons of room back here. And I just point something out. This is the only 7-seat car that's on the market at the moment that I would say could house 7 adults in it comfortably. Even things like XC90, Skoda Karoq or Skoda Kodiaq or any of those kind of cars, they can carry 7 people, but realistically, I'm not going to carry them very far. It's mostly 5+2. They're more like an emergency booster seat. But these seats back here, which are so easy to just go click, back up in place, will carry 7 adults. And I'm going to prove that. Let's have a look on the inside and I'll prove it. I'm just going to put that seat back up. Let me get in the back and I'll show you. Me, 6'1", fits in these seats. Let's go. I'm sitting in the last row, so I can adjust these seats to have them in a more reclined position like this, okay? So now I'm properly reclined in the seat. And I pull this seat back on me, right here, all the way back, let it up, and I fit, okay? Now this seat can roll forward by 18 centimeters, very easy by the passenger in front of me. So if I want to sit back here for a full journey, no problem whatsoever. This has been very good. We tried this yesterday with the kids, me and everybody in the family. Look how much room I have when they roll forward. I mean, that's this is a big car. So you got all the full air conditioning controls and heated seats on both sides here, not in the middle row. Middle person can freeze to be fine. If you want to put someone behind you, slide it forward. You got 18 inches or centimeters, not sure, but a good, like that's 6 or 8 inches there easily between me and the back passenger now, and I still have room here to sit here quite comfortably if I want to. Should you like, infinite adjustment across that range, really easy to move. Kids can move this handy enough. You can also get the seat forward like this, let someone out of the back without getting out of the car. See when I get that? And you can recline, look. You can recline the seat back. There's no one behind you. You can really chill out and just sit back here like a limousine. This seat's gorgeous. Love this yoke. And if you want to get into the back seat for your back passengers, all you gotta do is lift that handle, slide it forward. You've access into the back. Real easy. This is the best setup of 7 seats I've seen in one of these cars. Size wise, you're still getting a proper 7 or 5 seat and left with a boot as well. That is unusual. Normally you have to sacrifice a boot for the extra seats. Let's have a look in the front. Oh, see what the driver really gets. Really chunky doors. It feels like a Land Cruiser, you know. It feels like a full-size Land Cruiser, but it's a passenger vehicle. Good thud from the doors. Up here, it feels, and I hesitate to use these words, luxurious. It feels incredibly well built. That steering wheel has a sort of a leather wrap to it. There's this wood that's down. It just feels very well put together. Incredibly well put together. The left-hand drive ones get a bigger screen. This one's actually fine as a JBL screen. It works fine for me. There's JBL speakers everywhere too. It is a hybrid, so there's no engine noise when you start up first. You will cut in a minute when it's trying to get its temperature up. On this, I have heated and cooled seats on the front here, both sides. I have dual zone climate control for both sides. I have buttons for everything. I'm not sure if that's heated windscreen wipers or what that is. I think there's heated windscreen wipers because there's a heated rear mirror here, rear window mirrors here, and a heated front mirror here for blowing warm air. So I think that's a heated windscreen wiper. Not sure. Big tray here for mobile phone, but there's another tray here for mobile phone. There's two 2.1 amp USB chargers, and there's also an Apple CarPlay port for your phone as well. So you want Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Coming back into the center here, I have a trail button if we want to put the car into sort of an off-road mode. EV mode, I have Sport, Normal and Eco for drive modes. Then I have this little glove box here, which is very cool. It actually bends a little bit. And you're exposed a wireless charging tray underneath. You lift that up underneath there. There's a ton, like there's an Echo. There's an Echo goes back out of that box. It's so big. There's a bag of little hand sanitizer things. It just disappears down in there. The layout here is very good. There's buttons and wheels and knobs everywhere. I'll just show you the little view on the camera system, which gives you a view everywhere. So all around the car, 360, it just does this loop around to see what's near the wheels as you're driving along. You can actually have that anywhere. It pulls back out and looks down from above like a drone camera. You can also do the 360 of a drone camera. That is one of the most impressive things I've seen in a long time. It feels like Blade Runner. I just released a drone over my head here. And I'm making sure the place is clear. Amazing system. Obviously it's matching the cameras from underneath. Super system, really like that. Way beyond Conor McLeod level right here. Automatic headlamps. I have heated steering wheel. I have an electric tailgate. Look, every option has been fired at this car. This is the top spec one, I get it, but I'm warning you, if you buy something, if you don't go check this car out, you're missing out on something very special. And I'm a fan of big Americana cars, so I kind of like this one anyway. Next thing up, let's go for a spin, see what it's actually like on the road, because it could be crap. D, and then we go. Now you can see all the cameras are on. I hope you can see the cameras are on, because it's showing where the car is on the road, so I can actually see as I'm driving along what I'm looking at. And then it goes into Apple CarPlay, so if I want to go into view like this, I think I can view the cameras. No, I can't when I'm driving, weirdly. This has got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard. There's one port there for it. And you have all of the mod cons you can have. You can control the temperature of the back seat as well if you want to, or you can just sync all three like I've done here, which is what I always, I always like that. I like a sync button. I like when I'm in the car my own, I don't want any inefficiencies. I want the car to just give me the perfect temperature all across the vehicle. When people are in the car, they can choose whatever temperature they want. Want to get out, it goes back to sync. I just kind of weird and pedantic about that. Right now, I'm running in EV. I am not dirtying the environment one, but sir, I'm moving through in zero emissions mode, which I can drive quite some distance in this, actually. I haven't really put it to the test. I know I could probably do a good, 20 kilometers or so on most of these EV battery yokes. I did a test once upon a time in an old Prius, where I did 18 kilometers on pure EV, just nothing, no battery or petrol engine put in at all. This has active cruise control and lane tracing. It's on Toyota's new architecture platform, which is kind of cool. It really does. It feels really good. Chassis is crisp. Really enjoy that. Suspension might as well be built and tested in Ireland. As always, Toyota do their final checks here in Ireland, so the car actually gets set up for Ireland by Irish technicians. And so it does feel a little less solid. It feels like it's more designed to be dealing with this kind of road, which you can see there's grass down the middle of this road. I come out here specifically to test these kind of suspension systems. I also like that this car just feels like it's invincible. I feel like I would crash into something and leave a Toyota-shaped dent in that thing, and that's very cool. Actually, here's another Toyota coming at me right now. An older one, but it's there. She's an older one, sir, but she checks out.
It's an older code, sir, but it checks out.
But you can hear, listen how quiet this car is. I tell you, there's a small rattle, but that is coming from my tripod. That noise is from my tripod. I'm going to have to burn the tripod and buy a new one because it's making more noise than the car is. This is deathly quiet in here. There is no noise, none. I drove it down from Dublin. I've done like, what have I done so far? 249 kilometers so far in the car, and I have 464 kilometers left till empty. So about 3/4 of a tank of petrol left in it. And it is a petrol hybrid. So it's a 2.5 litre petrol engine under the bonnet of this. Same as the engine as the Camry comes with. And I wouldn't have thought, honestly, I wouldn't have thought the car would be able to pull around the 7 seats that are in it because it's very luxurious feeling. But I'm very, very happy with this car. This hybrid version, if you want a 7-seat this size, whoa, dude overtaken. If you want a 7-seat this size, there is no electric alternative. Now, that engine is now got the eCVT box, which is much better than it used to be. Much better, much quieter. You just hear the engine now. You don't hear the gearbox at all now. It just gets on with its job there. It's very, very nice. Very pleasant drive. Love this armrest in the middle as well. Very comfortable. Not adjustable, just very comfortable. Suspension is set up just right for Irish roads. You turn into a corner, you don't feel like you're falling out of a seat. And the seats are not really American feeling. They don't feel like a big sloppy American seat that are made for like big fan ass. It's not, I'm sorry if you're American, but you know what, it's not made for that kind of ample seat. It's just a comfortable place to sit down and drive along. So the Highlander starts at 61,000 and heads its way up as far as this one, which is about 78.5 grand. Is it worth it? 7 seats, lads. It's the 7-seat conundrum, right? If you want to have a decent 7-seat, this is basically the only one that has room for 7 adults, or even room for child seats, full-size child seats. I actually love this car, I really do. I think it's one of the best cars in the market at the moment. That's a kind of an oddball thing for me to say about something like this. These usually don't feature in that. I prefer sort of electric cars right now, but there's just nothing to compete with this thing in the market at the moment. This is incredible. We'll see once more models come onto the market electric wise, but for 7 seats, if you want a 7-seat SUV right now, this is the thing to look at. It really is very, very good. Hey, listen, thanks very much for watching. I hope you've hit the subscribe button by now. You know, this channel has really grown over the last little while. It'd be great to have you along. If you want to buy these kind of hoodies, it's bobflavin.com. You can also get in touch with me on Twitter, on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube, on multiple other platforms if you want to. But thank you very much for joining me. And until next time, I'll see you on the far side.